What's up guys, welcome to another video. So today I have decided that I'm tired of doing the same old tricks and combos in my freestyle and I want to take it to the next level. And so what better way to do that in 2024 than to ask for help from AI. Let's ask it for the 10 most advanced and complicated tricks or combos that I can try to take my freestyle to the next level. So I'm gonna ask it, can you give me a list of the 10 most advanced / complicated FPV freestyle tricks / combos in ascending order of difficulty. All right, so some of these names I recognize and some of them just sound like complete nonsense. So let's get into it with a list of what AI thinks the 10 most complicated FPV freestyle tricks are, starting at the easiest, number 1. So number 1 seems pretty simple and I think I can do this. The turtle mode flip. I think everyone knows what that is. When the drone is flipped over on its back, you can then use turtle mode to recover it. And apparently that is in the top 10 most difficult tricks in FPV freestyle. So if you can do that, then you're already on your way to becoming a great pilot. Let's look at number 2. The power loop. Seriously? Difficulty intermediate. I think I got that one down. Let's go on to number 3. The split S. I think I can also get this one down. I'm pretty confident I can do a split S. I'm already on my way to becoming the best freestyle pilot. Okay, number 4, the corkscrew. Now, I think I know what this is, but it's not a common trick, I would say. Number 5 sounds pretty scary, the death spiral. So a death spiral is an extreme continuous spin combined with a descent, usually performed in close proximity to the ground or obstacles. The pilot deliberately enters an uncontrollable downward spiral and must use throttle and control to exit it without losing control or crashing. The point with this one is you start by going into a deliberately uncontrolled downward spiral and then you got to save it. Alright, and that's advanced. Sounds interesting. Can't wait to try that one. Alright, number 6. This one sounds very interesting. The Superman flip. The Superman flip is a combination of a backflip and a yaw maneuver where the pilot initiates a backflip but controls the yaw axis to rotate the drone 180 degrees while upside down. This creates the illusion of a continuous fluid motion as the drone appears to flip in place, but with the added twist, literally, of a yaw rotation. Difficulty, expert. Alright, well that one will be fun to try. I think I understand it. It's basically a backflip with a 180 yaw at the same time. I've got to get my head around this one, but I'm going to give it a go. Anyway, on to number 7, and I recognise this one. It's the trippy spin. The trippy spin is a combination of yaw and roll in rapid succession, causing the drone to spin unpredictably around its own axis. I'm not sure about that because a trippy spin you have to be locked in and it should be predictable. There's nothing unpredictable about a trippy spin. Well, unless you crash, of course. Anyway, it can be combined with other moves like flips or rolls for added complexity. Ooh, difficulty advanced. Maybe I should try a trippy spin with an added flip or roll. That's difficult. Alright, on to number 8. And this is another move, thankfully, that I recognise and I know how to do. It's an invert yaw spin. Difficulty expert. I think I got this one in the bag, number 8. Alright, now we're on to number 9, which is kind of strange just looking at the name. A cinematic power loop. The second most hardest move in all of FPV freestyle is apparently a cinematic power loop. Anyway, let's get into it and see what this is. A highly complex power loop performed with cinematic flair, typically through tight spaces, trees, or over a specific area while controlling altitude and speed to create a visually stunning effect. Ooh. This requires not only raw flying skill, I think I've got a little bit of that, but a deep understanding of fluid motion and planning. Difficulty expert. I'll give that one a go. It sounds like it's going to take a lot of planning to nail that one, but I think I've got it in the bag. Right, number 10. Are you ready for the most difficult trick in all of FPV freestyle, the Khalifa loop. Right, okay, this is the description. Named after the legendary pilot Khalifa. Has anyone ever heard of a pilot called Khalifa? Maybe I've missed something, I've never heard of Khalifa. The Khalifa loop is an ultra advanced trick involving a combination of a high-speed dive, quick reversal, and power loop executed with a single fluid motion. The key to this move is the precise throttle control during the reversal and the timing of the loop. It requires flawless control of both pitch and yaw and can be performed near obstacles to add difficulty. Difficulty master. It's a combination of a high-speed dive, quick reversal. Reversal of what? The dive? And a power loop, executed within a single fluid motion. Sure, the Khalifa loop. Why not, eh? Anyway, the only thing now to do is for me to grab my drone and try and attempt these complicated tricks like the Khalifa loop in real life to see whether or not I can become the best freestyle pilot there is and possibly the first person to have ever done a Khalifa loop. So as you can see, I've made it to the spot, this amazing, wonderful bando haven that I love to fly. And in my quest for becoming the greatest freestyle pilot of all time, with the help of AI, I'm going to go through this list of 10 advanced tricks and combos that have been set for me by ChatGPT. And I'm so confident in my abilities that I'm going to go through tricks 1 to 5 all in one line. So we've got the turtle mode flip, the split S and the power loop, then we've got the corkscrew, and I'm going to finish it with a very scary sounding death spiral. Let's see if I can get it.
That was successful. Let's start with a power loop. There you go. Into a split S. Split S left. Or was that right? I'm confused now. Let's do it again. Left. And then right. Okay. Now, next trick, the corkscrew. I assume that's a corkscrew. Never done one before. Just keep it spinning at high speed. Boom. Next, the death spiral. Is that it? Pretty rubbish really, but give it one more go. Let's do it like this so it's a bit more up control. Do a lower death spiral. Oh! Is that a death spiral? Let me know in the comments. Well, there you go. Anyway, that's the first 5.
Alright, so I got the first 5. On to trick number 6, which is called the Superman flip, one that I've never heard before. But apparently it's a backflip mixed with a 180 yaw spin. Now it says, quote unquote, that the 180 yaw must be completed while upside down. So I'm just going to take this as a backflip with a 180 yaw, and then I just complete the backflip. So let's give it a go.
Okay, the Superman flip. Let's do it in place first. Assume it's just like this. 180, flip out. Let's do one moving. Just like that, I guess. Let's do one going fast. Pretty cool, actually. Never thought to do that. There you go, that's the Superman flip.
Alright, so on to the next trick. It's going pretty good so far, but it might change now because we're on to the trippy spin. Now, I know this is a trick that I can do, so I'm going to up the ante and try a variation of this that I've never tried before. And I know AI suggested to maybe add a flip or a roll, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll do that at a different time or maybe later, but for now, I'm going to do a trippy climb. And I'm going to do it up the side of this bando, see if I can climb the floors whilst I'm doing the trippy. The dangerous thing about this trick is that you can't actually get to the upper floors. So if I crash up there, it's dangerous. Who knows if I'll be able to retrieve the drone. Let's give it a go.
Okay, the trippy spin climb, I'm going to try and do it up here. Quite scared because I've never tried this. Oh, failed already. Oh god, I don't land in water.
Right, disaster has struck and my drone has crashed into water on a trippy spin. Somewhere under here. It's not going good, guys.
A few moments later.
What a disaster. I'm going to unplug it under the water. Oh, all right. Do you think it will still fly?
More moments later.
Okay, I've done my best to cover this gap. Still could potentially go through it, but I'm hoping for the best, so I'm going to try again.
Let's give it another go. Oh, do you know what? I climbed one level. I'm going to call that a make. Maybe I'll go down the road and do a trippy spin around something else instead. I'll do it over here. I know there's a trippy spin here and there's a wire. So I'm going to do a trippy spin climb above this. There you go. Can I count that? I'm going to count that.
Okay, so the next trick is actually one of my favorite tricks, the inverted yaw spin, or according to AI, the invert yaw spin. And I'm not just going to do a regular inverted yaw spin, that would be far too easy. Instead, I'm going to show you guys some inverted yaw tracks. And not just that, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can spice up your inverted yaw tracks, show you how I like to do them to make them look that little bit more impressive. So let's get into it.
Okay, so inverted yaw spin, obviously, there's your inverted yaw spin, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do a nice little inverted yaw track. So let's say I want to track the side of this. A lot of people go like this, roll into it and track it. And that's fine, you know, it's fine. But the key to getting a really nice one is roll the opposite direction. Boom. Look at that. Because it's so much more unexpected, and when you lock in a really sick one like that, it looks way better. So there's your inverted yaw spins. Let's just do another one for good measure. Both directions. There you go. But yeah, that's my tip for inverted yaw tracks. Roll away from the object, not towards it.
Right, for this next trick, number 9, I've come to my special cinematic villa because we've reached the cinematic power loop. Not any old power loop. This one is a cinematic power loop, and therefore it's going to take a lot of planning. And not just that, I'm going to commit one of the biggest sins in FPV freestyle. I'm going to turn my stabilization on. Alright, so we've reached the climactic point in our list, number 10, named after legendary pilot Khalifa himself, the Khalifa Loop. And I've been going through the description of what AI thinks this is, and I've worked it out, and it's actually a pretty cool trick. So AI says that it's a high-speed dive, quick reversal, and then a power loop, all done in one single fluid motion. So I'm going to do this through a gap. So I'm going to take it like this. If it's a high-speed dive, then it's a dive gap through the gap. However, it says a high-speed gap followed by a quick reversal. So I'm going to do a reverse dive gap. And there's two ways you can do that, with either a yaw or a flipping motion. And I'm going to do a flip because I think it looks way cooler. So I'm going to come down for the dive gap, do a reversal, And then it says a power loop. Now from here, the only way I can go into a power loop is if I just immediately go back this way. So I'm going to do a reverse dive gap and then instantly power loop back out of the dive gap that I just came through. And yeah, if it all goes to plan, I think that this will be a pretty cool trick. I never really thought to try it before. And hopefully I can live up to the great man himself, Khalifa. Let's give it a go.
All right, the Khalifa loop. This one is super dangerous. So I'm a little bit worried about this. Just gonna go for it. Oh, see, that's what happens when you just go for it. Second try. Oh. Okay, first try was a fail. Let's go again for the Khalifa loop, named after legendary man himself, Khalifa. There you go, the Khalifa loop. That was insane. Let's see if I can get a cleaner one. Oh, that was some new trick I invented. Oh yeah, sick. Taking that as a win. Take that, Khalifa. There's a new sheriff in town.
So in my quest to become the greatest FPV freestyle pilot of all time, I have completed the list of the top 10 most advanced FPV freestyle tricks according to AI. Well, actually the trippy spin one was a bit iffy, but I still did a trippy spin, so I'm counting it. Were they actually the 10 most difficult tricks in FPV freestyle? No, definitely not, especially with the earlier ones like the split S and the power loop. I would say they're beginner tricks, but it did get me thinking outside the box, which is kind of cool. So what have I learned today in my journey using AI? Well, firstly, I've got to say that you can't trust everything that AI tells you. It seems like the information that it gives you is often either outdated or just incorrect. It obviously has gaps in its knowledge, and then it just tries to fill it with artificial intelligence. Like with the Khalifa loop, for example, I think it had found old videos where Johnny FPV was diving the Burj Khalifa, for example, and then made up some fantastical story about this legendary Khalifa. But yeah, aside from that, if you are looking to level up your freestyle skills, then I would say ask ChatGPT. You never know what it's going to tell you. And sometimes when I'm trying to think of a new trick or combo, it's hard to think outside the box. So going to sources outside of FPV, like AI, is sometimes helpful because it gets your creative juices flowing when it comes back with these crazy answers. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this where I collaborate with ChatGPT, let me know. And yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. In your face, Khalifa. Perfect landing.